Alright, hello there, and here is my presentation. As stated in the title, who was Shakespeare? Quite a simple title and question, don't you think? Well, there's more to it than meets the eye. In my presentation, we will discuss his works, his life, and a specific idea or theory on why he might not be a real person. So, here's just a few topics that I thought we would want to go over before we get started. In case you don't know already, Shakespeare was quite a significant writer in his lifetime, and he still is. He wrote many of the plays we see today and inspired the work of many poets and people like that. Shakespeare's identity is still a subject discussed now. However, why do you think that is? Well, we will go over those kinds of questions and many more near the end of the slideshow. Questions like why and such will be answered then. Now, here are just a few of his works. Here you can see two of his most well-known plays and books and whatever you want to call them. Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet. Apologies. It's also important to note that not all of his stories are tragedies. These are what you call tragedies. They're a majority of tragedies really go over a character's downfall, or if you want to put it that way. In fact, some of them are comedies, and everyone should know what that means. But we will not be discussing all of his works because that would take far too long. I will, however, give the rundown and general gist of the more popular of these novels, Romeo and Juliet. This work is the most popular for a good reason. It is about two lovers from separate families. The only problem is the two families despise each other. The entire play centers on how Romeo and Juliet can make their relationship work. It may sound like a dull premise, but I promise you that it's more interesting than that. Alright, enough about books though. What about Shakespeare's life outside of them? Well, this is not a commonly known fact, but Shakespeare was married. This lady who has been painted here is his wife, Anne Hathaway. They were wed to each other at an early age. For Shakespeare, at least, Shakespeare was only 18, which you might not think is so bad at first, but Anne's age makes all the difference. Miss Hathaway here got married to William at 26 years old. That is a fairly large age difference. However, together they did have 3 children, Susanna being the first, and then she had 2 twins, Hamlet and Judith. Alright, now we get to the question at hand. Why do people think that Shakespeare wasn't a real writer? There are multiple theories as to why, but we will only go over 2. It's believed that a person did write the plays. This is in one of the theories, but not specifically Shakespeare himself. Some believe that Shakespeare was an alias, or another name, used by another writer. Another theory is that because Shakespeare didn't leave much about his life or anything else behind, that he wasn't a real person. I'm not too sure about that, as we have plenty of evidence. If you search his name on the internet, you could find biographies that detail his whole life. Not sure if we'd have those if this was truly the case. But what do you think? I truly hope you enjoyed my presentation, and I hope it presented the facts in a nice fashion. And happy Thanksgiving.